The alien ship appeared above Earth without warning. It was massive, bigger than anything humans had ever seen. The ship looked like a giant metal whale, with purple lights running along its sides. It just sat there blocking out stars, making its own shadow fall across entire countries. Admiral Jack Ryan was drinking coffee aboard his battlecruiser, the USS Liberty, when the alarm started screaming. He nearly dropped his cup. His second-in-command, Captain Steve Johnson, ran onto the bridge with his uniform half buttoned up. "Sir, we have a situation," Steve said. "A huge ship just appeared. It's right above New York City." Jack felt his stomach drop. This was it. First contact with aliens, and it didn't look friendly. On Earth, people pointed at the sky. Some screamed. Others took pictures with their phones. President Laura Martinez was pulled out of a meeting and rushed to the White House Situation Room. Her hands shook as she sat down at the long table. The alien broadcast came on every screen on Earth. It was in perfect English, which scared people even more than the giant ship. "Greetings, primitives of Earth," said a voice that sounded like metal scraping on stone. "I am Ambassador Krelthax of the Morthian Empire. You are now under our protection." Jack Ryan watched from his ship's bridge. He didn't like the word protection. In his military experience, that usually meant control. The alien continued talking. "For 10,000 years, the Morthian Empire has brought order to the galaxy. We have conquered, protected, thousands of worlds. You should feel honored to join us." On Jupiter's moon Titan, Captain Steve Johnson's other command post started picking up strange energy readings. His science officer, Dr. Amy Peterson, frowned at her screen. "Captain, I'm seeing power signatures that don't match any known technology." "How many ships?" Steve asked. "It's hard to tell, but I'd say hundreds," Amy replied. Lieutenant Ben Carter, Steve's weapons officer, looked out the window at the dark space around Titan. "They're coming here, aren't they?" Back on Earth, Krelthax was still talking. "The terms are simple. You will open your planet to our ships. You will share all your technology. Most importantly, you will recognize the Emperor Draxel as your supreme ruler. You have 24 Earth hours to decide." The screen went black. The White House Situation Room exploded with voices. President Martinez raised her hand for quiet. "Jack, what do we know about their capabilities?" Admiral Ryan appeared on the video conference screen. "They've got at least one massive ship in orbit. Our long-range sensors detect more ships approaching from outside the solar system. Hundreds, maybe more." Defense Secretary Matthew Knox slammed his fist on the table. "This is exactly what we've been preparing for. The Sentinel Project. Should we activate it?" President Martinez looked tired suddenly. "Not yet. We need to understand what we're facing first." On Titan, Dr. Peterson discovered something interesting. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual gravitational readings. It's like they're warping space around their ships." "Can we do that?" Steve asked. "Theoretically? Yes, but we haven't figured out the practical application yet," Amy answered. Lieutenant Carter interrupted them. "Sir, I'm getting reports from Earth. People are panicking. Some countries are already surrendering." Steve gritted his teeth. "Cowards." Back aboard the USS Liberty, Admiral Ryan gathered his senior officers. "The aliens think we're primitive. They think we'll roll over and surrender." He looked around the room at the faces of his crew. "But we've been developing technology they don't know about. The Sentinel Project, the experimental weapons, and most importantly, we've been practicing how to fight together as one planet." On the alien ship, Ambassador Krelthax stood before holographic displays showing Earth. His assistant, a younger alien with 4 arms, looked nervous. "Ambassador, should we deploy the standard subjugation fleet?" Krelthax waved dismissively. 300 ships should be more than enough. These humans have barely left their solar system. They'll surrender before we even fire a shot." But the ambassador didn't notice the hidden signals being broadcast from Earth. Secret messages bouncing between defense stations on Earth, the Moon, and various asteroid mining operations. Admiral Ryan sent coded messages to his network of commanders. To Captain Brad Coleman on the destroyer USS Defender, "Prepare for Protocol Theta." To Colonel Tim Andrews at the Lunar Defense Base. Begin covert weapons check. To General Patricia Lewis at the North American Continental Defense Center. Ready? The shield generators. The messages were encrypted and hidden within normal radio traffic. The aliens, confident in their superiority, didn't even monitor Earth's communications. In space, more alien ships arrived. They formed into precise geometric patterns, a sight that would have been beautiful if it wasn't so terrifying. Each ship was a kilometer long, bristling with weapons that could turn cities to glass. Fleetmaster Vorgan commanded the invasion fleet from his flagship, Domination of Worlds. He looked at the tactical display showing Earth and smiled. Such a small planet, so defenseless. Emperor Draxel will be pleased when we present him with a new world in less than a day. His tactical officer nodded. The humans haven't even raised their defense shields. Their weapons are primitive. This will be our easiest conquest yet. Vorgan appreciated the efficiency. After all, why waste energy on a prolonged battle when the enemy would simply give up? But on Earth and its colonies, humans were doing what they did best, preparing for a fight. In secret bunkers, engineers activated systems that had been hidden for years. On mining ships, workers installed weapons designed to look like industrial equipment. In cities, civilians started evacuation procedures disguised as emergency drills and SAR. The 24-hour deadline approached. President Martinez prepared for a press conference. She had already made her decision but needed to play for time. In her earpiece, she heard Admiral Ryan's voice. "Madam President, we're as ready as we'll ever be." "Jack," she said quietly, so only he could hear. "If we refuse them, they'll attack immediately." "Yes, ma'am, they will. And we have a chance?" "I believe so, Madam President. But it will cost us." Laura Martinez took a deep breath. Throughout history, humans had faced extinction. From predators when they lived in caves, to diseases that killed millions, to world wars that threatened civilization itself. Each time, they survived because they refused to give up. "Then we fight," she said firmly. The press conference was brief. No fancy words. No long speeches. Just what needed to be said. To Ambassador Krell Thax and the Morthian Empire, President Martinez looked directly into the camera, knowing aliens were watching too. "We have heard your ultimatum. We have considered our options." She paused, letting the weight of her words settle. "Our answer is no." Across Earth, millions of people watched their leader refuse an empire that had conquered thousands of worlds. Some prayed, some cried, some raised their fists in defiance. Above Earth, Ambassador Krell Thax received the message. For the first time in his long life serving the Empire, he felt something he couldn't identify. It might have been doubt. "They refused?" he said to no one in particular. "No primitive species has ever refused." Fleetmaster Vorgan received the news with a laugh. "Then they have chosen death. Begin the invasion. Show them what happens to those who defy the Morthian Empire." As alien ships powered up their weapons, Admiral Ryan gave one final order to all human forces. For Earth. And the largest fleet in galactic history began moving toward what they thought would be an easy victory. They had no idea they were sailing into humanity's carefully prepared trap. After Earth's bold refusal, the world fell into a strange calm. Most people didn't know about the hidden preparations happening all around them. They went to work, took their kids to school, and watched the news like always. But some people knew the truth and worked in secret. Admiral Kelly Harper stood in a deep underground bunker in Colorado. Maps covered every wall. Red dots marked defense positions that didn't appear on any official map. Green dots showed hidden weapon caches. Blue lines connected secret tunnels between cities. "How long before they attack?" asked Commander Chris Morgan, who was in charge of activating all the hidden defenses. "Could be hours. Could be days." Kelly answered, "The aliens think they need to wait for their full fleet. We need to use that time." In another part of the world, Defense Secretary Matthew Knox met secretly with military leaders from every nation. For the first time in human history, all countries worked together. Old enemies became allies when faced with extinction. "Project Sentinel is ready," Knox told the group. Every hidden bunker has weapons. Every fake civilian building has surprises for our visitors. On the moon, Lieutenant Colonel Lisa Wright watched construction robots add the finishing touches to what looked like cheese factories. Tourists would think that's what they were, but inside, powerful lasers waited to point at the sky. Mining robots carried weapons instead of drills. At a lunar mining facility, engineer Dale Murphy was polishing the fake mining equipment one more time. His crew laughed about their disguise. "Think the aliens will figure out that cheese miners don't need railguns?" joked his assistant. "Not until we start firing." Dale smiled. Meanwhile, the alien flagship Domination of Worlds moved closer to Earth. Ambassador Krelthax spent his time demanding daily updates from Fleet Master Vorgan. Something felt wrong about this conquest, but he couldn't say what. "Why haven't the humans started building defenses?" Krelthax asked his assistant. The four-armed alien checked his data. "According to our scans, they're conducting business as usual. A few old satellites are the only technology we detect. No military buildup." "That doesn't sound right," Krelthax said, his voice filled with doubt. "Sir, they're primitives. They probably don't know how to fight beings from space," the assistant said. Back on Earth, Admiral Ryan had his own meeting. Captains of ships and space stations gathered on secure video calls. Every face looked serious but determined. "Here's what we know," Ryan began. "The aliens have standard weapons, plasma cannons, energy torpedoes, and something they call void shields that protect their ships. And we have," asked Captain Brad Coleman from his destroyer. "We have Element Zero." Ryan smiled. "Zero? A material we've been developing for 50 years. It disrupts energy fields, makes their shields useless," Ryan explained. Captain Nicole Brooks grinned. "I love surprises." On Titan, Captain Steve Johnson studied energy readings with Dr. Amy Peterson. They discovered the aliens' FTL drives worked by folding space, but there was a weakness. "They create gravity bubbles to move faster than light," Amy explained. "But the bubbles make them blind. They can't see normally while traveling. So if we attack right when they exit FTL," Steve nodded slowly. "They won't know what hit them," Amy finished. Aboard the alien ship Domination of Worlds, Junior Commander Zethan stood on the observation deck. He was young by Imperial standards, only 300 years old. He watched the primitive blue planet below. "This is my first conquest," he told another officer. "I thought there would be more danger." The veteran officer laughed. "You'll learn, young one. Most conquests are boring. Primitives surrender immediately. The Empire wins without even warming up our weapons." Zethan felt disappointed. "No glory, then?" "Glory comes from serving the Empire, not from fighting weaklings," the veteran replied. In secret locations across Earth, massive doors opened underground. Giant machines, hidden for decades, hummed to life. Project Sentinel had many components, and one of them was pure genius. General Patricia Lewis stood before a huge control panel. On screens around her, images showed fake civilian buildings across the globe. Hospitals, schools, shopping malls, all of them had hidden defenses. "Begin charging all systems to 50%, she ordered. "We don't want them detecting energy." "Signatures?" Her assistant asked. "Why not 100%? "Because humans don't telegraph their punches," Patricia smiled. Orbital stations played their own games of deception. Dr. Susan Lee worked aboard what aliens thought was a simple weather monitoring station. In reality, it was a weapons platform. "What is under alien scans are quite thorough," she told her team. "They detect heat, energy, and mass, but they don't scan for certain metals we use in our new weapons. Because they don't know these metals exist," her assistant finished. "Exactly." Across Earth's solar system, the human defensive web grew tighter. Mining ships changed course subtly. Space stations adjusted orbits. Communications satellites powered up secret transmitters. The aliens noticed none of it. Their arrogance acted like a blanket covering their eyes and ears to danger. Fleet Master Vorgan reviewed his battle plans repeatedly. "Our standard formation will be perfect. Leading ships form a wedge. The rest spread out to surround the planet. Precision strikes on major cities. Occupation complete within 12 hours. "Do we spare any cities for the slaves, Master?" asked his second. "Perhaps their capital. Makes good example for others," Vorgan replied casually. Emperor Draxel sat on his throne light years away. Holographic displays showed him the situation. His neural implants showed tactical data streaming in from the fleet. "Another primitive. World falls to our might," he said to his court. "Add Earth to the Imperial Conquest List, number 2847. Court members cheered. Another easy victory. Another world to exploit. Another species to enslave. But on Earth, Admiral Ryan gave his final commands before the battle. Each order was simple and direct. "Colonel Andrews, prepare lunar defenses for activation on my signal." "Captain Parker, your stealth ships remain hidden until the aliens commit their forces." "Major Ross, railguns only fire after the energy weapons engage." "General Lewis, shield generators activate 5 seconds before they finish their attack run." Every human in the defense network knew their part. They'd practiced in secret for years. Now the play would begin for real. In his quarters on the Domination of Worlds, Ambassador Krelthax stared at Earth through his window. Something still bothered him about this conquest. Perhaps it was the humans' strange calmness, or their immediate refusal. Other species usually tried to negotiate, to buy time, to find a way to survive. "Ambassador," his assistant entered the room. "The humans just broadcast another message." "Another surrender offer?" Krelthax asked without turning. "No, sir. They're asking if we want to try their coffee." Krelthax turned sharply. "Coffee? It's a local drink. They say it's excellent during battles." The ambassador felt that strange emotion again. "These humans are different. They're primitives, sir, nothing more." But as fleets moved into position and battle plans were set, both sides had different ideas about what would happen next. The aliens saw an easy victory. The humans saw a chance to shock the galaxy. Time was running out. Battle was coming. And no one except humanity knew about the real preparations that had been happening for decades, all leading to this moment. Admiral Jack Ryan sat in his command chair aboard the USS Liberty. His hands gripped the armrests as he looked at the blinking red light on his communication console. The aliens wanted their answer. Earth's final response to the ultimatum. "Patch me through to all channels," Jack said to his communications officer. "Earth channels, alien frequencies, everything." The young officer nodded. "You're on, sir." Jack cleared his throat. He'd fought in 3 wars during Earth's unification period. He'd seen friends die. He'd made hard choices. But this would be the biggest moment of his life. "This is Admiral Jack Ryan speaking for humanity." His voice was calm and steady. "Ambassador Krelthax, we heard your offer. We took time to think about it." On the alien flagship, Krelthax stood at attention. Finally, the surrender would come. His assistant recorded every word. "Our answer is simple," Jack continued. "No." The word hung in space between the human fleet and the alien armada. One simple word that carried enormous weight. "What did he say?" Krelthax asked his translator. Certain there was a mistake, he said, "No, Ambassador." Across the Morthian fleet, alien commanders stared at their screens in disbelief. No species had ever refused the Empire's offer before. Never in 10,000 years. "Repeat that," Fleetmaster Vorgan ordered from his bridge. The human said no. "Fleetmaster," the communications officer replied. Vorgan laughed, a harsh sound that echoed through the bridge. "The primitive thinks it has a choice. This actually makes it more interesting." Light years away, Emperor Draxel's court fell silent as the message reached them. The Emperor's neural implants glowed red with rage. "Prepare the historical records," the Emperor commanded. "Add Earth to the list of complete annihilations, no prisoners, no survivors, no memory of their existence." On Earth, people watched their screens as Admiral Ryan continued broadcasting. "We know who you are. We know your history. We know you conquer worlds without mercy." Jack's voice grew stronger. But you're about to learn something about humanity. We don't bow. We don't kneel. We stand and fight. Captain Brad Coleman watched the broadcast from his destroyer USS Defender. He smiled grimly. His crew was ready for battle. Every single person on his ship knew what was coming. "Communications, do we have confirmation from all sectors?" he asked. "Yes, sir. All units report ready. Project Sentinel is green." Dr. Susan Lee and her research team aboard the civilian-looking space station finished their final checks. Giant railguns, disguised as solar panels, silently moved into position. Particle accelerators, hidden inside what appeared to be radiation shields, primed for action. "We're going to make them regret underestimating us," Susan said to her team. On the moon, Colonel Lisa Wright commanded the hidden defense base from deep inside what aliens thought was a simple mining operation. Hundreds of missile tubes sat hidden under fake equipment. Energy weapons pointed at the sky through cleverly disguised openings. "All batteries charged and ready, Colonel," her weapons officer reported. "Hold for the signal," Lisa ordered. "Let them get close." In the alien flagship's throne room, the real War Council began. Admiral Jack Ryan's defiance had finally made the situation serious. "Full assault formation," Vorgan commanded. "I want the first wave to hit their major cities. Show these primitives the cost of refusing the Empire." "What about their defense systems?" asked a tactical officer. Vorgan scoffed. "What defense? Our scans show nothing. No ships beyond their system, no orbital weapons platforms, no energy shields. They're defenseless." Junior Commander Zethan felt nervous. Something seemed wrong about this conquest. "Master, what if they're hiding something?" "Hiding what? Advanced technology?" "Impossible. Their radio emissions are primitive. Their ships barely reach their own moon." Vorgan stepped closer to the young alien. "Learn this lesson, Zethan. Primitives don't hide. They can't. They don't have the skill or cleverness." But Zethan couldn't shake his unease. The human admiral seemed too calm, too confident. On Earth, President Laura Martinez addressed her nation one final time before the battle. "My fellow citizens, today we face the greatest challenge in human history. An empire that has conquered thousands of worlds stands at our doorstep." She paused, her voice steady. "But they don't understand humanity. They see our cities, our ships, our technology as primitive. They're wrong." The president looked directly into the camera. "We've been preparing for this day for over 50 years. While they saw weakness, we built strength. While they saw peace, we forged weapons. While they counted stars, we planned strategy. Around the world, evacuation protocols activated. Cities emptied key buildings. Trains moved underground. Planes grounded. Everything looked like panic to alien eyes, but every movement was planned, every action calculated. Admiral Ryan received reports from commanders across the solar system. "USS Relentless reporting ready, sir," said Captain Peter Morgan. "Titan Defense Platform green," confirmed Captain Steve Johnson. "All lunar positions operational," reported Colonel Tim Andrews. The alien fleet moved into attack formation. 300 massive warships arranged themselves in precise patterns. Plasma cannons charged up, energy torpedoes loaded, void shields at maximum power. "Begin the assault," Fleet Master Vorgan ordered. The first wave of alien ships broke from formation and accelerated toward Earth. Their weapons glowed with deadly energy. Billions of people would die in the next few minutes, or so the aliens thought. On the bridge of the USS Liberty, Admiral Ryan watched the enemy ships approach. They were beautiful in a terrible way, sleek metal forms powered by technology far beyond human dreams, or what aliens thought were human dreams. "All units," Ryan spoke calmly into his communicator. "Weapons free on my mark." The alien ships entered Earth's atmosphere. Their shields flared as they pushed through air that seemed too thick, too resistant. "Something's wrong with their approach," Lieutenant Ben Carter noted from his station. "That's the nanites in the atmosphere," explained Dr. Amy Peterson. "They're tiny robots. The aliens can't see them, but they slow down shields and disrupt energy fields. On the domination of worlds, warning alarms suddenly screamed. Shield efficiency dropping, an alien technician shouted. Unknown interference. Impossible, Vorgan roared. Earth has no such technology. It was then that the first shots fired. Not from space, not from ships, from the ground itself. Massive. Energy beams lanced into the sky from what aliens thought were civilian buildings. Shopping malls revealed hidden laser installations. Hospitals launched antimatter missiles. Schools opened their roofs to unleash railgun barrages. The attacking aliens had no idea such weapons existed. Their intelligence had been completely wrong. Evasive maneuvers, alien ship captains screamed, but it was too late. Human weapons, hidden for decades, unleashed destruction on the invaders. On Earth's surface, General Patricia Lewis smiled as her planet's defense systems activated. Welcome to Earth, visitors. Population, angry humans. The first wave of alien ships burned in the atmosphere. Their void shields failed against weapons made from element zero. Their armor cracked under kinetic bombardment. Their crews died in ships they thought were invincible. Admiral Ryan's voice cut through the battle chaos. Phase 1 complete. All units execute Phase 2. Show them why they should have accepted our first answer. The real counterattack was about to begin, and the Morthian Empire was about to learn that humanity didn't just refuse to parley, they refused to lose. The second phase of humanity's defense began with a sound like thunder across space. From behind Earth's moon, the true human fleet revealed itself. Ships with designs the aliens had never seen before appeared from nowhere. Decloak all vessels, Admiral Ryan commanded from the USS Liberty. Hundreds of human warships suddenly became visible. They were smaller than alien ships but faster, and covered in angles that bent light strangely. These weren't the primitive spacecraft the Morthian Empire expected. Fleetmaster Vorgon stared at his tactical displays, unable to believe what he saw. Where did they come from? Our scans showed only basic spacecraft. They had stealth technology, Master, Zethan replied, his voice filled with awe. They've been hiding their real fleet all along. Impossible. Stealth fields require power signatures. We can detect. But as alien ships tried to respond to this new threat, they found their systems struggling against unknown interference. Colonel Tim Andrews commanded the Lunar Defense Network from deep inside a hidden base. All railguns target the alien flagship. Fire. Giant projectiles launched from rails hidden inside fake mining equipment. Each tungsten rod moved at thousands of kilometers per second. When they hit alien ships, the void shields flickered and failed completely. Their weapons pierce our shields, an alien weapons officer shouted. It's not possible. Nothing is impossible, Vorgan growled. Increase shield power. But Element Zero technology turned their strongest defense into paper. Human weapons sliced through alien armor like hot knives through butter. Captain Nicole Brooks led a squadron of human stealth fighters through the alien formation. Her ships looked like silver arrows, small and deadly. They flew in patterns that confused alien targeting systems. Blue leader to all wings, she called out. Target their weapon clusters. We don't want them shooting back. Her pilots responded, with deadly precision. Plasma cannons that had terrorized hundreds of worlds suddenly exploded under human fire. Energy torpedo launchers went silent forever. On Earth's surface, Major Kevin Ross coordinated ground-based attacks. Giant railguns, hidden in mountain tunnels, emerged from camouflaged positions. They fired upward into space, helping the orbital battle. Loading velocity rounds, his gunners reported. Good, Kevin replied. Let's show them how we throw rocks on Earth. Each shot from the ground-based weapons traveled at incredible speed. They hit alien ships from below, where their shields were weakest. The impacts created spectacular explosions visible from many countries. In the asteroid belt, mining ships revealed their true nature. What aliens thought were simple resource gatherers suddenly displayed advanced weapon systems. They attacked. Alien supply ships trying to retreat. This is the mining vessel Taurus, radioed engineer Dale Murphy. We don't mine rocks anymore. We mine alien ships. His crew cheered as they destroyed an enemy transport filled with invasion equipment. The alien invasion force was in chaos. Ships that had conquered thousands of worlds found themselves outmatched by planetary defenders they'd dismissed as primitives. Retreat. Patterns Alpha, Vorgon ordered. Reform at Rally Point Gamma. But his ships couldn't retreat properly. Human forces had surrounded them, cutting off escape routes with carefully placed minefields. On Earth, General Patricia Lewis activated the planet-wide shield system. Massive generators hidden beneath cities created an energy barrier that covered the entire planet. Alien shots that got through the space battle harmlessly dissipated against the shield. Shield strength at 90%, her operators reported. Maintain current power levels, Patricia ordered. Let them waste their ammunition. In space, the human fleet pressed its advantage. Captain Brad Coleman commanded the destroyer USS Defender as it pushed through alien defensive lines. All batteries, focus fire on the command ship, his weapons. Crews responded eagerly. They'd trained for this moment their entire careers. Advanced targeting computers locked onto alien weak points, finding vulnerabilities their shields couldn't protect. Aboard the alien flagship Domination of Worlds, emergency alarms screamed constantly. The bridge crew worked frantically to understand how they were losing. Hull breach on decks 12 through 15, reported damage control. Engines at 60%, added the engineering station. Weapon system 7 offline. Krelthax found himself witnessing something that shouldn't exist. How can primitives fight like this? They're not primitives, Ambassador, Zethan answered. They never were. The young alien commander had been right to feel uneasy. Humanity had done something the Empire never imagined. They'd hidden their true capabilities while preparing for invasion. In another part of space, Captain Julia Parker commanded a captured alien vessel. Her crew had modified it with human technology, creating a hybrid warship. All hands prepare to board the enemy supply ship, she ordered. We want their technology database intact. Her boarding teams used special suits resistant to alien weapons. They moved through enemy ships like ghosts, taking data cores and equipment back to human ships. The battle raged across Earth's solar system. Human forces used tactics the aliens had never seen before. They hit and ran. They feinted and counterattacked. They adapted to every enemy move. Major Diana Miller led a special operations team aboard one of the largest alien carriers. Remember the plan. We need their communication logs, everything they know about their empire. Her team moved silently through alien corridors. The enemy crew, focused on the space battle, didn't expect borders. Diana's team secured vital intelligence that would change the war. Back on the flagship, Fleetmaster Vorgon finally admitted reality. Send retreat order to all ships. Withdraw to the outer system. But retreat proved difficult. Human ships had predicted every move. They'd studied Imperial tactics and prepared counters for everything. Captain Steve Johnson commanded the space station disguised as a research facility. Activate the trap in Sector 7. A cluster of asteroids slowly moved into position over months, suddenly revealed hidden engines. They created a maze that blocked alien retreat routes. Sir, reported one of his officers, the aliens are trying to contact their homeworld. Jam all communications, Steve ordered. We don't want reinforcements. Human electronic warfare systems, far more advanced than aliens suspected, blocked all long-range signals. The Empire would hear nothing from their fleet. Emperor Draxel, waiting for news of Earth's conquest, found himself troubled by silence. His neural implants picked up nothing from the fleet. Contact Fleet Master Vorgon, he commanded. Unable to reach them, Emperor, his communication master replied. All channels are blocked. For the first time in its 10,000-year history, the Morthian Empire faced a problem it couldn't solve by overwhelming force. In Earth's skies, the battle reached its peak. Burning alien ships fell like metal rain. Human defenders stood firm, their spirits lifted by success no one thought possible. Admiral Ryan watched the tactical display with grim satisfaction. Casualty report? Our losses are minimal, sir. They're crippled. Good, Ryan replied. Now we finish this. All units begin final assault. Today, the Empire learns to fear Earth. The human fleet moved forward with deadly purpose. Ships that survived thousands of conquests now burned in the void. An empire built on fear discovered what happens when they meet creatures who refuse to submit. The alien fleet was breaking apart. Massive warships that had terrorized hundreds of worlds now drifted as burning wreckage around Earth. Only a few dozen ships remained operational from the original 300. Fleet Master Vorgon's flagship, Domination of Worlds, barely stayed together. Fires burned on multiple decks, the main engine sputtered and failed. His bridge crew looked to him for orders that could no longer save them. "Sir, we must surrender," his second officer suggested. "The Warm Empire does not surrender," Vorgon roared, but his voice lacked its former pride. Captain Peter Morgan aboard the human battlecruiser USS Relentless commanded the pursuit of fleeing alien ships. "All wings, take the runners. No one escapes to warn their empire." Human fighters moved like a hunting pack. They picked off damaged alien vessels one by one. Each explosion lit up the dark space, marking another Imperial ship destroyed. Back on Earth, Dr. Susan Lee and her team aboard the orbital station monitored the battle's end. "The last alien formation is collapsing. Our shields held against everything. They threw at us." "Run full diagnostics," Susan ordered. "I want to understand their technology completely." Data flowed into human computers. Every alien weapon system, every shield generator, every engine design became humanity's property. The Empire's secrets were no longer secret. Lieutenant Diana Miller completed her mission aboard the captured alien carrier. Her special operations team secured the communication logs and navigation data. "Captain Parker, we've got the galaxy map," Diana reported excitedly. "Every planet they've conquered, every trade route, every base location." Julia Parker smiled from her hybrid ship. "Send everything to command. Let's see how the Empire likes being exposed." On the flagship USS Liberty, Admiral Jack Ryan received the intelligence data. He studied the star maps showing the Empire's territory. Thousands of worlds, millions of slave populations. "Communications, patch me through to all surviving alien vessels," Ryan commanded. "Channel open, sir." "Attention, Imperial forces, this is Admiral Ryan. You have lost. Your invasion failed. Your fleet is destroyed." His voice carried across space. "Tell your Emperor what happened here. Tell him Earth fights back." Inside his crippled ship, Ambassador Krell heard the human message. The alien who had commanded planets to surrender now faced surrender himself. "Ambassador," said his assistant, "should we respond?" "What would I say?" Krell replied sadly. "Everything we believed was wrong." The human ships surrounded the alien flagship. They didn't fire. They didn't need to. The message was clear. The battle was over. Light years away, Emperor Draxel felt something through his neural implants. A disturbance. Fear. Pain. The feelings of his fleet reached across space carrying terrible news. "Impossible," he muttered. His court watched their ruler with growing concern. "Emperor?" his chief advisor asked. "What troubles you?" "I sense fear from the Earth invasion force. It can't be right." The court fell silent. No Imperial fleet had ever felt fear. On Earth, crowds gathered in cities to watch the sky. The battle's light show ended. Human ships returned to orbit as heroes. People cheered, cried, and hugged strangers. They had done the impossible. President Laura Martinez addressed her nation from the White House War Room. "Citizens of Earth, our defenders have won. The Empire is defeated. We are still free." The celebrations spread across the planet. But military leaders knew this was just the beginning. Earth had revealed its strength. The Empire would respond. Admiral Ryan gathered his senior officers for a crucial meeting. "We've bought time, not peace. The Empire will send more forces." "Perhaps not," suggested Captain Steve Johnson. "If we send their survivors back with data from their own ships, the Empire's subjects might rebel." "Explain," Ryan ordered. "We captured their historical records. The truth about their conquests, the slavery, the lies. Steve smiled. What if every world they control learned these truths? The idea spread among the human leadership. They would not just defend against the Empire. They would help destroy it from within. Engineer Dale Murphy worked with alien survivors to prepare damaged ships for departure. You'll take these back to your space. Tell your people what happened here. An alien engineer asked, Why help us? We came to conquer you. Because humanity doesn't fight empire with empire, Dale answered. We fight tyranny with freedom, BQ. First alien ship to retreat reached a station on the Empire's edge. The crew spoke hesitantly about Earth's defense, but somehow the human ambassador's words leaked beyond Imperial channels. They said no. They rejected our ultimatum. And they won, one alien whispered in a bar on a conquered world. Impossible, said another alien. No one defeats the Empire. They did. They planned for it. They built weapons we can't match. Such conversations spread like infection through the Empire. Fear became curiosity. Curiosity became questions. Questions the Empire tried to silence but couldn't. Emperor Draxel finally received official reports from Earth. The numbers seemed like errors. 300 ships destroyed. Fewer than 50 returned. A primitive planet victorious. Launch the Grand Armada, he commanded. 1,000 ships, no mercy this time. But for the first time his war council hesitated. Emperor, cautioned his highest general, perhaps we should understand how they defeated us first? You question my orders? The Emperor's neural implants flared dangerously. No, Emperor, but the survivors speak of technologies we don't comprehend, methods we can't counter. While the Empire debated, humans acted. They sent ships to nearby systems, not warships but boats carrying information. Data about Imperial atrocities, evidence of lies, proof that resistance was possible. Captain Nicole Brooks led the first diplomatic mission to a nearby star system. Her stealth ship passed undetected through Imperial space. She made contact with local resistance groups. Earth stands with you, she told them. The Empire can be beaten. Back home, humanity strengthened its defenses. The aliens' technology helped improve Earth's shields and weapons. Mining operations expanded to develop more Element Zero. President Martinez established the Global Defense Council to maintain humanity's unified front. Every nation contributed resources and knowledge. We started as separate countries, she told. The world. We end as one species ready to defend our freedom. The Empire's control began to fracture. Small rebellions started in distant systems. Planets asked questions about Earth's victory. Imperial commanders found their orders questioned. For the first time, on the edge of human space, Admiral Ryan established the Frontier Defense Network, hidden bases in asteroids and moons, secret shipyards building new warships, a web of sensors watching for Imperial return. They'll be back, he told his officers, but next time, we'll be even more ready. In conquered systems, resistance grew. The story of humanity's refusal inspired others. If one primitive world could defeat an invasion fleet, perhaps others could fight too. Emperor Draxel watched his empire develop cracks. Reports of unrest reached him daily. The Grand Armada assembled, slowly as crews demanded better information about Earth's defenses. This cannot continue, and he told his advisors. One planet cannot shake 10,000 years of imperial rule. But the truth had already spread too far. The empire that had never faced resistance now faced questions from within and threats from without. On Earth, Steve Johnson stood with Amy Peterson looking at stars. We did it, we made them leave. For now, Amy replied, but I think we did more than that. We showed the galaxy that the Empire can bleed. The Emperor's shock had not ended. It had just begun. And across the galaxy, enslaved worlds whispered a new phrase. Earth said no.